Welcome to the 12th edition of the Aegean Airlines Pro Am, as one of the most highly regarded Pro-Am golf tournaments in the world continues its journey into a second fantastic decade of competition. Once again, players from across the globe have gathered in Messenia, the historic region on the southwest coast of Greece, at the stunning venue of Costa Navarino. 240 players from 18 countries are here for the event, played on the fabulous Bay and Dunes Championship courses, competing for the prestigious Aegean Airlines Pro Am title in a spirit of harmony, friendship and hospitality that underlines this amazing event.
And this is one of the tournaments that everyone looks forward to, one of the highlights of the PGAs of Europe season.
It's just such an unbelievable event, and it's our pleasure to come back and support the event.
Well, the tournament is amazing. I mean, it's well known in all Europe to be one of the best Pro-Am, if not the best Pro-Am.
Hospitality is absolutely amazing. We get treated like kings here. It's an absolute pleasure to come back to Greece every year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It's probably the best Pro-Am that we play in. I think you can't fault it in any way. I've been here for about 5 days already now, so that's it, I'm not going home.
A practice day followed by 2 rounds of championship golf awaited the teams, and in the evenings the opportunity to enjoy the now legendary social events here at the Aegean Airlines Pro Am. Captaining the teams were 60 professional golfers, including 12 current tour players and previous champions. The first ever winner, Welshman Liam Bond, is joined by 2009 champion Norway's Paul Nilbrink, Swede Henrik Engdahl, who won back in 2007, American Zeke Martinez, who reigned supreme in 2012, and 3-time champion Italian Nicolo Guerriero, winner in 2011, 13 and 14. The pros play a third and final championship round on the Dunes course to decide where the professional title will go in 2017. The Pro-Am is now an established event on the PGAs of Europe calendar, an opportunity for the participants to experience an incredible passion for golf in Greece. Inspired by the man who first had the vision and drive to start this event over a decade ago, here's Aegean Airlines chairman Theodore Vasilakis.
I started thinking of the idea when I started playing golf. I have developed as a golfer with the development of golf in Greece. I didn't know what golf was. But when I understood what golf was and what role the golf would play for the tourism of Greece, I fallen in love with golf as a player, as an investor. It is very important to reinforce development of golf courses in Greece because we consider it as an extremely positive infrastructure for tourism. And golf development is a real contribution to that direction. The Pro-Am is now a tradition in Europe. We try to make it very pleasant with events that will bring the people together. Now we are famous all over Europe. According to the PGA of Europe, it's the most popular and most well-organized Pro-Am in Europe. That's what they say. I don't say it. I just repeat it. Well, it makes me proud. It's rewarding, let's put it this way. We try to make it like a family. You know, we welcome people and we have very many repeated clients from very many countries, you know, an average of 26 countries. And we believe that golf is something that unites people. I have met people from all over the world in golf, and we keep in contact. That is super, that's great. And golf is something that will uncover your character. And this is something that you don't feel in other sports. You challenge yourself. It's beautiful because you stay out in a beautiful place. Even the worst golf course is much better than an office, of course.
There's plenty to look forward to at this year's Aegean Airlines Pro Am. We've got news coverage and highlights action from the main event as the teams take on the Bay and Dunes Championship courses for a shot at the coveted title. Once again, the social events play a starring role, helping to establish this tournament as the leading Pro-Am in Europe. Time to meet good friends and make new ones at the welcome dinner. There was a step back to the 70s and 80s with a fantastic disco evening. And then the elegant and entertaining gala dinner to close this year's event. And to finish this year's programme, we'll have highlights coverage from the final round of the professional event, ending in the most dramatic finish ever seen at the Aegean Pro-Am. That's all coming up on the show. Following the practice round, Ian Randall, Chief Executive of the PGAs of Europe, Achilles Konstantakopoulos of Costa Navarino and Theodore Vasilakis of Aegean Airlines opened this year's event at the welcome dinner.
We couldn't be prouder to be a part of the Aegean Airlines Pro Am, and thank you for all you do.
Please repair your pitch marks. Thank you very much and enjoy the game. Thank you.
May the best win, and let's have fun. Thank you.
And the next day, it was time to hit the fairways and greens to get the 2017 Aegean Pro-Am underway. To start this year's coverage though, it's time to catch up with what happened out on course with news from day one of the Aegean Pro-Am. The teams played round one on either the Bay or Dunes course before swapping courses for round two. And playing their first round on the Bay, the PGAs of Europe team, captained by pro Lee Scarborough, the 2014 European Coach of the Year. He was joined by Rainer Goldrian of the German PGA, John Clark from Ping, and the PGAs of Europe Chief Executive Ian Randall. Ian has been a big supporter of this event over all 12 years, and he spoke to us after the round.
It's always a great week. Obviously, the relationship between the PGAs of Europe and Aegean Airlines has been 12 years now, and I think Mr. Vasilakis summed it up really, really well at the welcome reception when he said, Aegean Airlines run their airline like a family, and I think we feel like we're part of that family, and this event has such a family feel as well. So obviously, first and foremost, it's a business relationship, but it's always nice if you've got a business relationship where there's friendships as well. I think this event's so special because it sets the standards for all other events in many ways, in not just the location. Obviously, we're at a fantastic resort here at Costa Navarino that would be amongst the world's best, and the event is so fantastic on and off the golf course, and I think it's just the overall standard that we're so proud of, that we get so much repeat business because people enjoy themselves so much. This event sells out within a few weeks of opening every year. Now, most of the PGA pros who are playing in this event are working in facilities, they're coaching, they're working with the amateurs on a daily basis. But it's also open to the playing professionals who are members of the PGAs as well. And we're seeing that with Carly winning last year, obviously first female winner, and she's just qualified for the US Women's Open, which is great. And this year, Peter Gustafsson, Peter played on tour again for many years. So it's nice that we can have that combination. First and foremost, it's about the teams and the amateurs having a great time and benefiting from playing with their pros. And golf's pretty unique in that way. But secondly, it's always great to see the really great golfers playing so well in these conditions.
On with round one of the golf and having a great time out on the course were pro Eugene Papadopoulos and his teammates Minas Sorotas, Damatis Choudakis and Aegean Airlines' very own Katja Avramadou. 4 teams made top 10 on day one with a score of 90 points. The golfing Widholm brothers from Austria had their eyes on this year's title. Salzburg pro Christian Widholm led the way with some great golf on the Bay course, alongside brother Wolfgang and teammates Manuel Michel and Moritz Kaminer. They played very well here at Costa Navarino last year, and there's no reason why Team Vidholm shouldn't be in the hunt on day 2 after a great first round. Joining them on the Bay course and on 90 points, pro Stephen Sharp and his team, Tana Pazara, Dan Pazara and Livius Freire. They all look good in the opening 18 holes, filled with drama and excitement. Just like it should be at the Aegean Pro-Am, and the team were really enjoying their time out on course for a share of 10th place at the end of day 1. Accompanied, as always, by the spectacular backdrop here at Costa Navarino. Greek pro Chrysanthos Diakou knows this course well and put that knowledge to good use, helping his teammates Claudidou, Cyprian and Marinella Zavloshi around the Dunes course. They were caught between a rock and a hard place at times, to much amusement, but they were certainly smiling come the end of a fantastic round. It's not often the pro plays second fiddle to his amateur team, but after Wentworth's Stuart Boyle put together a great round of golf to set the scene for his teammates, they stepped up to the plate. Dimitri Korokis and Georgios Kovanaitis went pin hunting and started to shoot the lights out. Then, not wanting to be left out, Harry Papadopoulos drained this monster putt to steal the show.
Nice, Harry.
That's a good pace. That's a very good pace.
That's dead weight in.
Yeah!
And if they keep playing like that on day 2, watch out for Team Boyle.
Yeah, everywhere.
3 teams came in on 91 points for a share of 7th place at the end of round 1. Pro Mike Leach and his Aphrodite Hills team of Platon Lanitis, Philippos Philis and Andrea Charitou looked great in their matching uniforms and dovetailed well on their way to a spot on the leaderboard. Italian pro Paolo Terreni, playing out of Sant'Anna Golf Club Genova, was delighted with his team's performance. Mario Vinciguerra led the charge, holding some great putts, with Massimo Poloni and Antonella Rivolta also contributing points during their round. English pro based here at Costa Navarino, Martin Dewhurst was another golfer watching his team turn in a terrific performance. Ionut Georgiescu, Bogdan Jigman and Cornel Pazara all made the journey to the Aegean Pro-Am from Romania and enjoyed a day of pin hunting and putting to perfection in equal measure for their 91 points. And the body language tells you all you need to know. These guys are here in Greece to try and win. Three teams also made it to 92 points. Team Franson, George Chandos, Paris Panaidis and Alice Chalofsky celebrating all the way to a share of 4th place on the leaderboard, alongside their illustrious Swedish pro, Jonathan Franson, who was holding them for fun in round 1. Team Hurd, comprising Stephen Lee, David Topping and Matthias Geisler, all combined well on the Dunes course with their pro Danny Hurd to put them in contention on day 2. South African Paul Marks came close to winning last year's Aegean professional event, and he was back in 2017 with his team of Bernie Lane, Henk de Toit and Kamal Singh to make another good start.
Hit me, hit me, hit me!
Well, we're here to have fun, and that's basically what we're trying to do. Nevertheless, we are still trying to be competitive.
What would it mean if you guys managed to win it?
It would be great. I mean, take the trophy back to South Africa.
At the end of day 1, 3 teams topped the leaderboard in a share of 1st place on 93 points. Nicolo Guerrero is the most successful pro in the history of the Aegean Pro-Am, and teammates Orlando Grondona, Emmanuel Yagudis and Giuseppe Parano were suitably inspired. Joining Team Guerrero at the top of the day 1 tree were South African regulars Team Whitfield. Pro Rudy Whitfield guided his team to a 2nd place finish last year, and they were back to try again for the title. It was a great start. James Johnston, powerful from the tee. Andre Hugo, sweet with the mid-irons, and Harry Christophe, deadly around the greens and on the microphone.
This is our 11th year we're playing.
What would it mean if you guys managed to win it?
Well, if you
It's
would,
just a
you
bonus. It's a bonus, but it's more camaraderie, getting together with people, having a good time. Not all about winning. It's about enjoyment.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, we're going to be there.
And to complete the three-way tie for the Pro-Am Championship lead on 93 points, the talented Italian team led by pro Gregory Molteni. All four players came to the points party with Massimiliano Melo, Paolo Lange and Roberto Montalbano dovetailing well. They even left some points out there. It could have been a very different story for the last team off the tee on day one if that putter dropped for Gregory. But hey, that's golf, and Team Molteni had to settle for a share of the lead come the end of day one. So, confirmation that after the first 18 holes we are set up for a cracker of a battle for the 2017 Aegean Pro-Am title tomorrow. Just a single point lead for our top three, with some quality teams looking to chase them down in round two. We'll have news and highlights from the final round later in the show. And so to round one of the 54-hole Aegean Pro Championship here at Costa Navarino, with a strong field of professionals chasing the trophy and the winner's cheque for €7,000. The standard of golf continues to rise in Greece as the game becomes more and more popular. Temis Guinness is one of the Greek pros helping to guide the development of the sport and this Pro-Am, and he turned in a great performance on the opening 18 holes, one of two players to shoot 69, 2 under par. Austrian Christian Widhalm joined Guinness on 2 under with a solid round of his own for a share of 12th place. Three players shot 68 for 3 under the card and a share of 9th place. Swedish pro Raimo Schulberg was the first of these, winning the Shirt of the Day competition in the process and sending out a message, in a bottle so to speak, to the rest of the field. Germany's Sebastian Candler joined Schulberg on 3 under. The Munich pro looked impressive on day one and certainly has the skills to go low here in Greece. It was a case of game face on to set the mark in round one. The entertaining hats of Swedish pro Peter Gustafsson have now become his trademark, but it wasn't long before Peter was reminding us just what a good player he is. The 40-year-old two-time runner-up on the European Tour, now based in Marbella, Spain, will surely be in contention as the pro tournament moves into a second and third round. Things were pretty crowded at the top of the round one leaderboard, with 7 players shooting 67 to go 4 under and share second place. The first of them was Englishman Martin Dewhurst, a well-known face at the Aegean Pro-Am, usually smiling and laughing his way around the course with his team, but looking pretty determined during the first 18. Would he be smiling come the end of the tournament? Another Englishman, Stephen Sharp, now based in Vienna, was also finding conditions at Costa Navarino very much to his liking, plotting his way around to put himself in contention. Enigmatic Swedish pro Henrik Engdahl is one of the iconic figures at the Aegean Pro-Am, and the 2007 champion is never far from the top of the leaderboard. A decade later, and he was there again at the end of the first round. Austrian-based Canadian pro Mike Burrows also brought his A-game on day one to shoot his way into the mix and find time for a joke with the camera crew. Italy's love affair with the Aegean Pro-Am was continued by 2 of their golfing sons. The first was Paolo Tureni, a player who wears his heart on his sleeve out on the course, which means that alongside his fantastic golf, Paolo is always an entertaining pro to watch. We'll be keeping an eye on him as the tournament develops. Amiable young German pro David Heinzinger has been a consistent performer at this event in recent years, and he was in the mix once again with some solid golf. He finished last year's event at 9 under, tied for 5th place. And with his skills, there's absolutely no reason why he shouldn't be challenging in the second and final rounds. Smiling his way to a share of second place, one of the most popular pros here at the Aegean, Austrian George Schultes. He shot 10 under for a 4th place in 2016 and began his challenge just as strongly this year. The day one leaderboard, though, was topped by the most successful pro in the history of the Aegean Pro-Am, as 3-time champion Nicolo Guerrero went low once again to claim top spot with a superb 66, 5 under par. Another great day at the office for the enigmatic Italian. The first 18 of this 54-hole professional championship done and dusted, and confirmation that Guerrero holds a single-shot lead over a very talented group of pros, all with their eyes on the coveted trophy. It's shaping up to be another fantastic tournament here in the professional division. That's all the news from day one of this event. More golf action to come with the second round later in the show. There are some amazing golfing venues in Greece, and Costa Navarino is acknowledged as truly world-class. A vision of golfing paradise originally developed by a man they called the Captain, the late Vasilis Konstantakopoulos, a dream now continued by his son Achilles, a proud supporter of the Aegean Pro-Am and golf in Greece.
It's very special to host the Aegean Airlines Pro Am in Costa Navarino, because first of all it's the best Pro Am in Europe, and of course it's chaired by one of my father's best friends and my mentor, Mr. Theodoros Vasilakis, and it's definitely the event I look forward at the beginning of every year. I actually play golf all year round to see how I do this event. Good news is we have been voted by the International Association of Golf Tour Operators as the best golf resort in Europe for 2017. So that has been a great honor. The development of golf in Messina has been very important to extend also the season in cooperation with Aegean Airlines. We started this year the mid of February, and we're going to go up until mid of December probably. So we really believe that golf can help grow the season, tourism season in Greece, can help develop more the country tourism product, and we have seen tremendous growth from all around Northern Europe. After the first year of opening Costa Navarino, we started our Navarino Golf Academy for children from the region. We have 60 children now in the academy. We of course provide all the equipment and lessons and traveling and everything they need to perform. And we were very proud that this year we had the Greek amateur champion, Panagiotis Pantazopoulos, who is from our region. And he was one of the first academy members, so we're very proud for that. My father would have been very proud to see the growth of this event. He participated in every event, and I think it was probably the last golf event he participated in before passing in the beginning of 2011. But he would have loved to see all his friends and all these people enjoying his dream about developing golf in Greece and in Messina. I think the message is have fun, that's the most important message. I hope people really enjoy it. I like hearing good comments, I really enjoy that because we strive all year around to really make this a very special event, and we're very happy to have all these happy faces walking around. We love that.
Time to get back to the action now, and day two of the 54-hole professional championship. It was three-time Aegean Pro winner Italian Nicolo Guerriero that set the pace on day one at 5 under, but a 7-over par 78 in round two dropped him out of contention. There were 3 players on 1 under though after 36 holes. Inaugural Aegean Pro winner Welshman Liam Bond shot par 71 to stay at 1 under in a share of 8th place. One of Greece's leading professionals, Temis Guinness, lost some ground in his challenge for this year's title and couldn't maintain his momentum after a first round 69 for 2 under. His day 2 72 meant a shot dropped, despite some good golf along the way. Turkey's Erol Simsek didn't get off to the best start yesterday with a 2-over par 73. A second round 68, however, put him under par for the tournament and meant a thumbs up from Erol. Three under was the next mark, with 2 players tied for 6th place. 2007 Aegean professional champion Sweden's Henrik Engdahl was another player who took a step back in round 2. He couldn't follow his fantastic round 1 4 under par 67. In the end, a 72 meant a drop shot for Henrik. Coming into the reckoning though was Italy's Emanuele Canonica, who shot a 2 under 69 to add to his day 1 70. There were 2 more players at the next mark of 4 under in a tie for 4th place. Amiable Canadian, now based in Austria, Mike Burrows managed to consolidate his round 1 score of 67, shooting a par 71 on day 2 to stay at 4 under the card. Germany's David Heinzinger had the same scoring as Mike, a 67 on day 1, followed by a 71 on day 2 to stay at 4 under for the tournament. On his own in third place on the leaderboard was entertaining Italian pro Paolo Tirreni, who despite his protestations loves playing in front of the TV cameras, backing up his 4 under par 67 on day one with a 1 under par 70 today, moving to 5 under for the championship. Austrian Georg Schultes was one of only 2 golfers to card scores in the 60s on day 1 and 2, following his day 1 67 with a day 2 68, which left him at a very healthy -7. And the second of those pros to post 2 sub-70 rounds was former European Tour player Sweden's Peter Gustafsson. A 68 on day 1 and a superb 6 under par 65 on day 2 meant a 2-shot lead for Peter over George in the professional championship. Confirmation then of that stunning 65 in round 2 for Peter, which means he'll head into the final round tomorrow, playing alongside Schultes and Tirreni in the last group, but with a 2-shot cushion over his nearest rival. We'll have action from the final round of the Aegean Pro Championship later in the show. The Aegean Airlines tournament is now established as one of the leading Pro-Ams in the world, a status achieved through the vision of Theodore Vasilakis and the incredible team behind this event, led by Aegean's Katja Avramadou. We spoke to Katja earlier in the week.
We started 12 years ago. Now the Pro-Am has a higher profile by hosting 2 players and high-level amateurs. And when they reach Costa Navarino, they say that this is the best Pro-Am ever. They're impressed about the condition of the golf courses and of course about the services of this tournament. The respect that we receive from those players, it's quite honoring for all of us who are involved in the organization. This year we have the honor to host in our tournament athletes from rugby, basketball, football, gathered all together, and on the golf course is a level playing field. What is remarkable this year for the 12th Aegean Airlines Pro Am, it is that the event has been announced through the PGAs of Europe channels mid-January, and by the first week of February we have completed the 60 teams registrations. What we most enjoy is that throughout the 12 years we have developed great friends and valuable relationships, not just with individuals but also with associations. Aegean Airlines has started a partnership with the PGAs of Europe, the driving force to develop the professional golf throughout Europe. And on the other hand, Aegean Airlines is the European airline that is supporting that purpose to influence and increase the golfer travelers throughout Europe. Greece has a great potential to be one of the major golf destinations of Europe. We would like to see in the future investments for golf in our country, in the northern of Greece, in many of the islands, and also in the main region of Athens. This year we have another innovation that all social events will be themed. The welcome reception will be dedicated to the Greek culture and delicacies. The social event of Friday will be a boogie night and for all the participants to dance on the disco floor. And then on Saturday evening, the gala dinner this year and the main prize-giving ceremony are inspired by high level and privileges that a gold class frequent flyer program is providing to its members, and that is what we intend to provide to all of our guests, high class services and all on gold class.
Time to get back to the course now and join the teams for final round action from this year's Aegean Pro-Am event. Well, at hole 2, Team Engdahl, and that's Mr. Vasilakis, I can tell you, out of shot. His third shot to this 300-metre par 4 second, and that is a cracker. Now, Team Boyle, hole 2 on the Bay course, Dimitri Korokis from Wentworth, his third shot into this par 5 second. He played brilliantly last year, and he's playing quite brilliantly again. Now, tough green to hit this one. Hole 16 on the bay. Kamal Singh with team marks with his tee shot to this 128-metre par 3. And from the elevated tee, he has found the dance floor. Chance of points there for team marks. Back to Mr. Vasilakis. A putt for par. And that'll be a net birdie. And more points going on the Team Engdahl score. Very good golf from Mr. Vasilakis. Back to the second. Team Boyle looking to get off to a good start with a birdie from Dimitri Karokis. And this team, I think, is the one to watch in this final round. Played some great golf on the first day, looking strong here on day 2. Now back down the fairway at the 18th on the Bay course. Team Zanini and their pro, Andrea Zanini. That is a beautiful second into this par 5 18th. And Zeke Martinez had a quite quiet tournament this year, the American. Previous winner of the professional event. And this looks like a cracker from Zeke into the 17th on the dunes, and he's all over the flag. Great shot from Martinez. Hole 3 on the dunes, the multi-talented Max Evans, pro golfer and pro rugby player, leading this team. But that's Niall Keelahan's third into the 492-metre par 4. Now this is a very sporty team. Former Greek international football player turned pro golfer Takis Gonyas playing alongside pro rugby player Tom Evans, pro basketballer Joe Alakas, and Suzanne Schlembach. That's a super 4-ball and a super shot. Hole 5 on the bay, and Emanuele Canonica having a good day in the pro event. Can he add another birdie at the beautiful par 3 fifth? The answer, unfortunately, no, but still ticking along nicely. Now back to the first, and pro rugby player Tom Evans with a long-range putt. He hits the ball an absolute mile. I think he's going to be in with a shout of one of the longest drive awards come the end of today's play. But he needs to find his putting touch here. He's a big lad, Tom, but he's playing alongside former NBA basketball pro Joe Alakas, who towers over him. Back to hole 5 on the bay. Emanuele Canonica with the line. Rudolf Jozic with the putt for a net birdie. How about that? Good scoring. Team Mortelli and Roberto Montalbano. This man can play. He hit some great shots last year. How about his tee shot into the par 3 15th on the Bay course? Oh, this is going to work. This is going to work. Kicks on from the front of the green very nicely and feeds a little back down that slope. Great stuff from Roberto. A monster putt for Papas Vulgaris of Team Barnet. Oh, he's only made it. What a cracker, and big points there for Team Barnet at 17. The second, and Team Papadopoulos, their professional, Eugene Papadopoulos, playing alongside Aegean's Katya Avramadou, Minas Sorotos and Stamatis Chidakis, still ticking over nicely. Tee shot for Vasilis Yiannopoulos at the 92-metre par 3 11th, playing alongside his pro Antonis Soteropoulos, Georgios Manolidis and John Kourouglas. And that's a cracker, not quite nearest the pin, but not far off. Team PGAs of Europe at the third, and very popular pro Lee Scarborough, beautiful striker of the ball. Oh, I thought that was going to spin right back to the flag. Hole 9 on the dunes, Irene Crams of Athens Golf Club. Expert guidance from pro Gary Brown, and that one was close. Back to the third, and the chief executive of the PGAs of Europe, Ian Randall, tidying it up nicely for some points. Well done, lads. Now, from earlier in the day, Team Nikopoulos, with their approaches to the first on the bay, Kostas Valasakis of Glyfada Golf Club, with a beautiful shot and gauntlet thrown down to his pro Christos, who's alongside him on the fairway. And there he is, Christos Nikopoulos of Crete Golf Club, to try and beat that shot from his teammate. Oh, he's done it. Great teamwork, leading to some good points early on in their round. Crete Golf Club, a special place in the hearts of all involved with the Aegean Pro-Am as the original venue for this great tournament. A long-range putt at the 11th for a 3-point birdie for Georgios Manolidis. Oh, well, a great putt from the Glyfada Golf Club man. Should have dropped, and Georgios can't believe it. Now, this is the team that has been setting the standard today. Their pro Stuart Boyle with his tee shot at 15, playing alongside teammates Dimitri Korokis, Georgios Kievanitis and Harry Papadopoulos. Well, he's overcooked it, but there's a nice slope at the back of this green, and that is going all the way back to the hole. He's a good player, Stuart, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Good course management there. Now, another shot from earlier in the day. This is the second on the Bay course, and the South African team, Team Whitfield, Andre Hugo, had this wonderful approach. Wonderful golf shot, wonderful scenery. Back to the dunes, hole 9, with Scottish pro William Milne and his teammates Michael Reithmeyer and Jörg Neuberger, and this man, Matthias Ganser, and that is a really good shot from Matthias, getting himself out of a bit of trouble there. Back to the Trailblazers at 15 on the Bay course, Team Boyle, and this is their points machine, Dimitri Korokis. Oh, he's drained another one, and they are looking very difficult to beat. So Team Boyle flying, but what about the rest? Finishing on 176 points for a share of 7th place, pro Danny Hurd and his team from Aphrodite Hills, with David Topping marshalling the troops, consisting of Stephen Lee showing some decent touch around the greens to set up points, and putter in hand, Matthias Geisler going very close to another 3-pointer, nearly, but not quite. Overall though, a very solid team performance from Danny and the boys to make top 10 on the leaderboard. Equaling Team Hurd were an all-Italian team from Genova, led by 3-time winner of the Aegean Professional title, Nicolo Guerriero. Giuseppe Parano and Orlando Grondona played well on the dunes, but it was Emanuele Iaguris who really impressed with some very accurate approach work. It's an incredible record at the Aegean from a very talented golfer, Nicolo Guerriero, and in 2017 he and his team were close to the top once again. Also tied for 7th place, Team Giacu with their PGA pro Chrysanthos Giacu from here in Costa Navarino. They put together some good golf and had a great time out on course. Ciprian Zavloschi showing great imagination from the bunker at 5. With Marinella Zavloschi and Claude Idu also supporting the team well. 60 teams in the mix at the start of day 1, so a top 10 finish, a superb achievement from Team Giacu. Also on 176, pro Anton Gedra guided his team of Absaliamov Miragayan, Vladislav and Yulia Malieva to some really solid golf, Yulia making that putt for valuable net points at hole 9 on the dunes course. While pro Anton played some stunning golf for his team and put himself into the mix in the pro event. Last year, Team Marks, consisting of Bernie Lane, Henk de Toit and Kamal Singh, went close to the Pro Am title, and their captain Paul Marks, chairman of the South African PGA, was leading the pro event for 2 rounds. This year they were playing well again for 177 points and a place in the coveted top 6 here in Costa Navarino. Henk de Toit with that wonderful birdie at the tricky par 3 5th on the Bay course to underline their impressive finish. Surely it's just a matter of time before Paul Marks and his team get their hands on this trophy. In 5th place on 178 points, Team Gustafsson with Lubomir Minchev, Andon Tushev and Nikolai Penyev putting together a great final round on the Bay, dovetailing nicely for points and enjoying their time out there on the course. They were all guided by their very popular pro, former European Tour player, Swede Peter Gustafsson, now based down in Marbella in southern Spain, and epitomising this team's approach to their golf today. Having fun in the sun and getting the job done. The second of the South African teams, led by pro Rudy Whitfield, eventually finished in 4th place on countback after having one of those days we all know so well. A case of close but no cigar for Andre Hugo, Harry Christophe and big-hitting James Johnston. But the team's overall performance was still good enough to put a spring in Rudy's step. This is another team that might just dance their way to this title in the not too distant future. Not quite there in 2017, but another great finish for Team Whitfield. Canadian pro Mike Burrows, now based in Austria, helped his team onto the podium. Dorin Mathieu, Adolphe Baclair and Anka Parvu provided some great support for Mike, who was hitting some amazing shots in his own right in the pro event on the Dunes course. In the end, it was a superb team effort to claim third place, with only a few points left out on the course. But overall, a well-deserved finish towards the top of this year's leaderboard. No doubt about it, Team Burrows can walk away from Costa Navarino with their heads held very high. Italy's Team Molteni, Massimiliano Melo, Paolo Longe and Roberto Montalbano with pro Gregory Molteni also scored 180 points but secured second place on countback in this year's Pro-Am. Melo with a stunning shot into hole 2 on the bay, but just unable to make the putt. So there was some frustration out on course in the final round for this team, but it was combined with some very good golf. Paolo and Roberto solid and steady from that sort of range all day, with Gregory providing the finishing touch at 18. Much to the delight of his team. So a trophy to take back to Italy and a great second place finish here in Greece. But in the end, a final round score of 93 points was just too good for the best of the rest. Stuart Boyle's team played great golf all week and nobody could touch their 183-point final total to help this team go one better than last year's second place. Dimitri Korokis putting the finishing touches to a superb round, which included some impressive net scores, with birdies and even 2 eagles. Georgios Kivanaitis and Harry Papadopoulos both contributed in that department, but it was the finisher Dimitri who got the job done, leaving Harry to knock in the final putt for a stunning victory. Time then to hear from this year's jubilant Aegean Pro-Am champions.
You know, we came second last year, so we were coming back to go one better this year, and thankfully we pulled through as a team and delivered. We got off to a good start. We steadied the ship, and then plenty of birdies to be had by us all in the back nine.
That's right.
So it looked like a couple of net eagles on those closing holes as well. Talk us through those.
Yeah, Georgie boy on 16, double stroke for him, and he knocked a pitching wedge into about 12 feet and secured the 2-putt for a 3-net 1, which is always nice on the scorecard, especially at that time.
Yeah, we always look forward to it every year.
Yeah,
it's a great time, summertime.
The courses are great. The people are friendly. And the hotel, the facilities, the organization is fantastic.
PJs of Europe.
We recommend it. PJs of Europe as well do a great job.
Yeah.
We recommend it. We speak very highly of the event. We think it's great. Gives us the opportunity to feel like we're pros.
Team Boyle literally calling the shots. Confirmation then of the final leaderboard for the 2017 Aegean Pro-Am. Well done to Team Marks, Gustafsson, Whitfield, Burrows and Molteni, all making it into the winner's enclosure for a top 6 finish. And congratulations to Team Boyle, this year's champions. We'll see them receive their trophy at the end of the show. So as the sun set on day 2 of this year's Pro-Am, the guests were transported back to the 70s and 80s for the Disco Night presentation evening. A chance to celebrate another successful event with teammates and friends here in Greece, to enjoy some great food and entertainment, for the various winners to receive their trophies donated by Antonis Fourakis and awarded by some of the VIPs at this year's event. And of course, a chance to boogie. Your groovy hosts for the evening were Antonis Soteropoulos of the Greek PGA and Ian Randall of the PGAs of Europe, with a selection of fabulous awards to be presented, like the Bay Course Longest Drives, won by Susan Schlembach for the 2nd year running in the women's division. The trophy presented by Mr. Antonis Fourakis. And for the men, the trophy went to the powerful pro rugby player Tom Evans, who received his trophy from Golf Operations Manager at Costa Navarino, Yannis Soukanis. The Silver Division winners on the Bay Course were Team Nikopoulos, with the trophy presented by pro basketball player Joe Alaukos and international footballer Lazarus Christodolopoulos. And the silver division winners on the Dunes course, Team Kurancius with their pro Panos Kurancius. And there was another superstar presentation party on stage for the Gold Division Awards. Aegean Airlines Katya Avramadou was joined by Patrick Pelletier, Regional Sales Director from Airbus, with Team Martinez claiming the Bay Course Trophy. And presenting the award for the Dunes Course Gold Division, Mr. Antonis Varakis and Mr. Georgios Kokotos, Team Gedra crowned the winners. All of which concluded another spectacular Aegean Pro-Am social evening. Time to get back out to the course now for final round coverage from the Aegean professional event. Just a quick reminder of how things stood after round 2. Former European Tour player Sweden's Peter Gustafsson with that well-earned 9 under par for a very useful 2-shot lead over his nearest challenger Georg Schultes of Austria. It's a case of catch me if you can for Peter.
I'm just trying to, keep my focus and hitting good shots. And so far so good, I would say.
Back to the action now, and this is how things stand. A bogey at 4 for Gustafsson means he drops back to 8 under, so just a single shot between he and the man on the tee at the moment, Georg Schultes of Austria. Schultes pars all the way to this 5th hole, and he struck that nicely. This is right on target. Beautiful golf shot, and that's the way to throw down the challenge. Now Tereni playing alongside Schultes and Gustafsson today on this final round. This looks good as well. Oh, this is going to skip on and stop. Beautifully done from the Italian. 2 fine tee shots. And they say to our current championship leader, Peter Gustafsson, go on then, beat that. Well, fine striker of the ball, the Swede. And that's a nice shot as well. That's the worst of the 3, and that's brilliant. Fabulous stuff from our final group. Paolo and Peter talking things over as they head down to the green, but all 3 in good shape. Now this is the hole you would love to be in good shape at, and driving away in a luxury BMW car. The hole-in-one award on the Dunes is the par 3 10th, 176 metres, some bunkers around the front, but plenty of space with the pin cut in the heart of the middle tier on this undulating green in the final round. No holes in one so far, and not many players left to take it on. To the 10th, the par 3 hole-in-one 10th, 176 metre tee shot here for Errol Simsek, and what a front 9 he's had. Birdies at 2, 3, 6 and 9. Just one blemish with a bogey at 8, but 3 under the cards so far today, and this looks good as well. And this will run on nicely on these very true greens on the Dunes course. Beautiful shot from Errol Simsek, and another birdie opportunity. Now here's a man who knows what it's all about. Panos Kurancius watching on. Played really well in last year's tournament. And watching to see if Federico Eli can make this putt to go back to +2. And this is going to move just to the left. Oh, beautifully judged. That was tricky coming down that slope. That was rapid. Very nice putt from Eli. Peter Gustafsson first to putt. His fabulous tee shot furthest away. His playing partners a little bit closer. Birdie chance then for Gustafsson. Oh, he's only rolled it in. How about that from the Swede? Moves back to 9 under. And if this was a match play situation, he's just put all the pressure onto Georg Schultes and Paolo Tereni. Now talking of pressure, a little bit of pressure on this one for Errol Simsek at 10. Needs this. No, up and after it. That's never a good sign where the pros are concerned. It was his chance to go to 4 under, but pars it to stay at 3 under for the tournament, and still on for a very good finish here at this year's Aegean Pro Championship. Canonica unable to convert his birdie chance and has gone quite a long way past. This to stay at even par. Well holed. Held his nerve there, the Italian. Back to 5. Beautiful tee shot for Georg Schultes. Should have felt like a birdie opportunity. Instead, though, he knows he has to hole this or he's 2 down. And he goes 2 behind once again in this tournament. Missing on the low side. Paolo Tereni, coming from a similar angle, will have had a good look at that. So George rolls it in, but he's back to where he was at the start of the day, which is exactly where Paolo Terreni is trying to go. He wants to go back to 5 under if he makes this birdie. He was watching Schultes, he's missed it high side. Well, would you believe it, Terreni is going to have to settle for staying at 4 under. It was a very hard-fought final round on the Dunes course for the professionals. A strong breeze made scoring tough, and players like Italy's Federico Eli were able to make ground on the rest of the field. The young pro's 2 bogeys were offset by 3 birdies as he made his way to +2 and a place in the top 10 on the leaderboard at the end of his 54 holes. Joining Eli in a share of 10th place was compatriot Gregory Molteni. Having guided his team to 2nd place in the Pro-Am, he went on to a decent finish in the professional event to round off a good year here in Greece. Flying the flag for Greek golf was Themis Guinness, who also found himself in a share of 10th place in what was an eclectic round. Some great work with birdies at 2, 13 and this cracker at 17, but a quadruple bogey at 11 undid all the good scoring. Guinness playing alongside Simsek and Canonica with just hole 18 left to play, but a chance to improve his final position on the leaderboard if he can find a birdie down the par 5 last hole. Nicolo Guerrero brought his rollercoaster 2017 tournament to an end with a 1 under par round of 70, following on from his day 1 66 and day 2 78 to get back into the clubhouse at 1 over par. That 4th Aegean title continues to elude him. First player into the clubhouse under the card was young German pro David Heinzinger. Not his best round of golf on a tricky final day, following his opening rounds of 67 and 71, which had him at 4 under heading into the last 18 incidentally. It was a disappointing 3 over par 74. 5 bogeys were not cancelled out with enough birdies like this one at 15, which meant that David couldn't challenge for the pro title. But a 2nd consecutive 5th place finish, a reward for his consistently steady golf. Like playing partner Themis Guinness, Emanuele Canonica of Italy still had the 18th hole to negotiate and would tee it up at 1 under par with 1 to play. 5 bogeys didn't deter him on day 3, and Emanuele just kept fighting back with birdies at 6, 1 at 11 and another one at 16 after this nice up and down from the sand trap, which he finished with a deadweight putt. Under par rounds of 70 and 69 on the first 2 days at least put him in the mix. A birdie down the last required for a 1 over par 72 and 2 under. Playing alongside Guinness and Canonica, Turkey's Erol Simsek started the final round at 1 under and was pushing to be one of the only golfers to shoot under the card on day 3 with this superb birdie at the par 3 17th, which took him to -2 with the 18th hole left to play. And so to our final group. Italy's Paolo Terreni never managed to find the momentum to really attack the tournament leaders, his playing partners for the day, Schultes and Gustafsson, until he got to 16, that is. After bogeys at 1, 8, 15 and a double at 12, Paolo birdied 10, and then, following this approach, which still seemed to frustrate him, he holed a cracking putt to eagle 16. A birdie finish for the entertaining Italian might just give him a chance if the 2 leaders were to make mistakes down 17 and 18. As for the leaders, well, it was proving to be a tough and testing final round for Peter Gustafsson. Having started the day at 9 under, 2 shots clear of his nearest rival George Schultes, he was certainly the favourite to claim the Aegean Pro Championship title. But bogeys at 6, 8, 9 and 14 dropped him back to 5 under with 3 to play, making that approach at the par 5 16th then like gold dust. But resplendent in his trademark summer hat, Peter couldn't make the eagle putt, eventually settling for the birdie to go back to 6 under and a share of the lead with Schultes with 2 holes to play. George Schultes was having a better round than the former tournament leader. Having started at 7 under, he parred the first 10 holes before frustrating bogeys at 11 and 13 left him at 5 under alongside Peter. Fortunately for George, he matched Peter's birdie at 16, heading for the 17th tee as co-leader at 6 under. The development of golf in Greece remains a key focus for Aegean Airlines, and here at Costa Navarino it's easy to see how golf and tourism are a perfect combination, something Antonis Soteropoulos of the Greek PGA understands.
So the president of the Aegean Airlines, Mr. Vasilakis, Theodore Vasilakis, is our major sponsor for many years now, and not only for us, he supports golf in general in Greece. He's one of the biggest figures in Greece for us. Because of his passion for golf, the game developed rapidly, and the PGA of Greece will always support his moves, everywhere that this is, to the maximum extent where we can. Because we need people like him in order to develop the game strong. This is the aim we have, to make golf develop more and more, as much as we can.
We're heading towards the end of another stunning Aegean Airlines Pro Am here at Costa Navarino, and to the 18th, where Turkey's Erol Simsek has a chance of birdie, which would move his score to 3 under. Oh, it's beautifully struck. A little bit of right to left movement coming up the hill. And that is a fantastic putt from Erol. Holds it then for par. And that means a final round of 1 under par 70 to put him at 2 under in the clubhouse. And that should mean a very good finish for Simsek. Now make or break. This to stay at 6 under for Schultes. He has to make this putt to take it to the 18th. Oh, it's there. Oh, that is amazing. Hit his tee shot right over the back of the green. And he's recovered with a beautiful up and down. And relief from him. That's put pressure on Gustafsson's putt. Now Canonica. This to go to 2 under for a share of 4th place with Simsek. Oh, it's another beautiful putt from the Italian, but just not quite enough pace coming down the hill. Well, what could have been a fighting under par back 9, but in the end, 73 leaves Emanuele Canonica at 1 under at the end of this tournament. Now, Schultes, big putt, followed by an even bigger putt here for Gustafsson. This to go to 7 under with 1 to play. Just never struck it. Never up, never in, as they say. And the first person to tell you that would be the former European Tour pro, Gustafsson. Rolls it in, slightly frustrating at 17, but goes down 18, neck and neck with Schultes at 6 under. Now, this for a little bonus for Greek pro Temis Guinness at 18. +2 at the moment. This for birdie to go to +1. Oh, he's done it. A strong finish. Not often you make 3 birdies on the back 9 and end up over par, but a quadruple bogey at 11 did the damage for Temis. But another good tournament overall from a very talented golfer. But golf can be a cruel sport sometimes, and after that fantastic eagle for Paolo Torreni at 16, things didn't get any better. A bogey finish to leave him with a 4 over par final round of 75. The likeable Italian way off the pace. A pace being set by these two coming down the last. Gustafsson versus Schultes then for the 12th Aegean professional title. Well, both laid up at the par 5 18th. Former European Tour pro Peter Gustafsson with one of his shots of the day straight at the flag, an advantage to the big Swede. Schultes once again found himself in trouble in the trap with his 3rd, so an up and down required to pressure Gustafsson's putt. It was okay, but there was still plenty of meat on the bone, as they say. And so to another key moment for Peter Gustafsson with a putt for the title. But it was high, wide, and not so handsome. Incredibly, Schultes once again had his tournament destiny in his own hands, handed a lifeline by Peter. And he grabbed the chance, sinking another pressure putt. A better round than Gustafsson today then allowed Schultes to eventually close the gap with a steady 1 over par 72, and amazingly with one eye still on that 12th Aegean professional title. A tap-in par down the last for Peter Gustafsson to force a playoff. A disappointing 74 from Peter on the last day, and 2 chances missed at 17 and 18 to close the door on George Schultes. So it's back to the 18th tee for a playoff drama here at Costa Navarino. Confirmation then of our final leaderboard at the 12th Aegean Professional Championship, and some very good top 10 finishes from some talented players. A breezy final day though meant that only 6 players went under the card for the tournament overall. Errol Simsek eventually claiming 3rd at 2 under after Tourani's bogey finish. But the drama continues as we head into a playoff for the championship title. And off they went down 18 for the winner-takes-all playoff between Gustafsson and Schultes. First time of asking, George Schultes found a superb approach to set up his first genuine opportunity to win the tournament, and he knew it. Leaving this putt to walk away with the title. In, then out. It doesn't get much closer than that. The hole halved with pars, so back to the tee they went. Second time around, and Gustafsson drained this for par. But Schultes followed him in. Playoff 2, hole halved in pars, and as George signalled, round we go again. Third time of asking, and Schultes found another potentially tournament-winning approach. While Gustafsson deliberately flew his ball all the way to one of the bunkers in front of the green, fancying his chances for an up and down from the sand for the win. And it looked like a fantastic plan. Leaving George with yet another pressure putt, and once again he held his nerve, forcing Peter to make his putt to send the pair back to the 18th tee for the 4th time of asking. Unbelievable action on the 18th, the hole halved with birdies as the Gladiators prepared to go again. That it should come to this. Superb drama in our playoff for the 12th Aegean Airlines Professional title. And George Schultes with his 3rd shot into this 18th green. Oh, he doesn't want it to spin, and it has. All the way back down that slope at the front of this green, and that is going to be a problem for the Austrian. Still going. Gustafsson not choosing the sand route this time around in playoff 4, but the door is open for the Swede. Favourite sort of distance with this club. Off the short stuff, it will spin. Oh, and it's perfection from Peter. Well, he knows it, and the crowd knows it. It's another chance to win this championship for Gustafsson. So all the pressure now on Schultes. A long putt for birdie. We saw a similar putt from Simsek on the 18th. Uphill, and he's got to hit it. He hasn't hit it. Trouble for George Schultes here in Greece. Mr. Vasilakis watches over a dramatic finish to the 12th edition of his Aegean Airlines event. And it's still George Schultes to putt. It's a must-make putt to put any pressure on Gustafsson. Well, he's done it, but once again the destiny of this year's trophy is out of his hands. The championship is there for the taking. Can Peter Gustafsson do it this time? Yes, he can, and in it goes for the win. Congratulations to Sweden's Peter Gustafsson, the 2017 Aegean Airlines Professional Champion. Commiserations to Austria's George Schultes, who put up a wonderful fight.
Peter's a great guy, Paolo as well, so we had a lovely 3-ball. And I mean, you win some, you lose some. Golf, you lose a lot more than you win. You know, there are 60 guys here this week, and they're all vying to win. So no, I'm still happy with that. All in all, the week's been great, and yeah, been really happy.
I lost my fair amount of playoffs, so I mean, somebody gonna have to win it. It's we spoke at some stage if he was ready for going on playing on tour events, and I think it explains it quite easily that he is. So I mean, I'm a little bit older. He will have his future for sure.
Great stuff. Well, once again, we congratulate you.
Thank you.
And so to the gold class elegance and entertainment of the final night and the spectacular gala dinner. The guests arrived to celebrate an amazing year at the 12th Aegean Pro-Am and to crown this year's champions. Glamorous gala dinner host Monto Gastaratu got the evening off to a swinging start, taking a light-hearted on-stage golf lesson before beginning the presentations.
First is the grip, and then is the swing.
The guests were enchanted by Monto and then inspired by Mr. Vasilakis.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is such a great honor to be your hostess of this unique prize-giving ceremony.
My congratulations to the professional winner and runner-up, to the 6 winning teams, to the winners of the Aegean Airlines Pro Am 2017, and of course to all the players who participated with brilliant performances and impeccable ethics.
Time now for this year's star performers to take centre stage, starting with the Aegean Pro-Am teams that played themselves into the winners' enclosure. 6th place, Team Marks. Team Gustafsson claimed 5th. Another great finish for Team Whitfield in 4th. And the top 3 were completed by 3rd place Team Burrows. In 2nd, Team Molteni. And the Aegean Pro-Am champions for 2017. Congratulations to Team Boyle. Dimitri Karokis, Harry Papadopoulos and Georgios Kivanitis led to a stunning victory by their pro, Stuart Boyle. And what an amazing finish in the Aegean professional event. In the end, it wasn't to be for George Schultes this year, but what a fantastic show he put on to make that dramatic playoff. Well done to George on his runner-up trophy. Congratulations, though, go to this year's Aegean professional champion. Peter Gustafsson held his nerve to claim the title and the winner's cheque to conclude the 12th Aegean Airlines Pro Am. The trophy and the cheque presented to Peter by Mr. Vasilakis and Achilles Konstantakopoulos of Costa Navarino. Well done to our champion, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next year.